Bones crunch under iron teeth. Deep in the forest, where ancient pines whisper secrets older than time, a hut stands on crooked chicken legs, waiting. Inside, Baba Yaga. All right, let's talk about Baba Yaga. Why is this old crone from Russian fairy tales so darn famous, popping up everywhere from bedtime stories to blockbuster movies? It's not just the creepy hut on chicken legs or the flying mortar and pestle, though those are seriously cool visuals. It's because she's complicated. She's not your typical fairy godmother, all sparkles and wishes, and she's not quite your standard evil witch either, cackling just for the sake of it. Baba Yaga is something else entirely. An enigma wrapped in a riddle, living in a sentient hut. She became legendary because she taps into something primal. She's the guardian of the threshold, the keeper of the wild, untamed forest, a place representing the unknown, danger, and deep magic. Meeting her is the ultimate test. She might help you, she might try to eat you, especially if you're rude or stupid. Or she might set you impossible tasks. It all depends. Is she death itself? A remnant of ancient nature goddesses, a powerful spirit testing human worth? Folklore scholars argue about it constantly. Some see her as a force of chaos, others as a strict, amoral judge enforcing the rules of the fairy tale world. She asks riddles, demands service, and possesses deep, often terrifying wisdom. Her ambiguity is key. She represents the unpredictable power of nature and the deep, dark magic that exists just beyond the safe borders of the village. That's why she endures. She's fascinating, terrifying, and utterly unforgettable. Now, diving into the vast trove of Baba Yaga tales is like stepping into that dark forest itself, full of twists, turns, and wonders. There are stories of her tricking heroes, aiding maidens, sometimes, and battling other supernatural beings. But for a truly captivating, detailed, and iconic encounter, one story stands head and shoulders above the rest. Vasilisa the Beautiful. This tale has it all: a resilient heroine, cruel stepfamily, deep magic, Baba Yaga at her most enigmatic and powerful, and a truly iconic magical artifact, the glowing skull. It perfectly showcases Baba Yaga's role as both threat and tester, her strange domain, and the kind of courage and resourcefulness needed to survive her. Get ready for a journey into the heart of the Slavic fairy tale forest. Young Vasilisa possessed a treasure beyond rubies, a tiny wooden doll given by her dying mother. "Feed it a little food and a little drink, my daughter," her mother whispered, "and in your darkest hour, ask its aid. It will protect you." Soon after, Vasilisa's mother passed. Her father remarried, and the girl found herself with a cruel stepmother and two jealous stepsisters. They loathed Vasilisa's gentle nature and stunning beauty, working her like a servant, hoping sorrow would dim her light. But Vasilisa endured, whispering her troubles to the little doll hidden in her pocket. The doll would stir, and somehow the hardest tasks would be done by morning. One evening, as autumn winds howled, the stepmother deliberately extinguished every fire and candle in the house. "Darkness, we are lost," she wailed. "Vasilisa, useless girl, go to Baba Yaga in the deep forest. Beg fire from her. We need light." The stepsisters shoved her towards the door, cackling cruelly. They knew sending Vasilisa to Baba Yaga was likely a death sentence. Trembling but obedient, Vasilisa wrapped her shawl tight and slipped the doll into her pocket. The forest path was blacker than pitch, filled with the groans of ancient trees and the snap of unseen things. Fear gnawed at her, but she felt the doll warm against her skin. Suddenly, the earth trembled. A horseman, white as bleached bone on a milk-white steed, galloped past. Dawn lightened the sky where his hoofbeats faded. Later, as the day grew old, another horseman thundered by, this one blazing red as fire on a blood-red horse. Sunset flared where he passed. Deeper and deeper Vasilisa walked until the trees grew monstrously thick and twisted, and then, in a dread-filled clearing, she saw it. The hut. It stood tall and grotesque, perched impossibly on two gigantic chicken legs. These weren't dainty bird legs, but thick, scaled, taloned monstrosities that shifted restlessly, causing the whole hut to pivot and creak like an ancient ship. The fence surrounding it? Made of human bones, dear listener. Skulls topped the posts, their empty eye sockets seeming to watch her. The gate was finger bones, latched with a jawbone. Terror threatened to freeze Vasilisa solid. The air stank of damp earth, iron, and something older and wilder. As Vasilisa stood paralyzed, the hut sensed her. With a horrible grinding noise, it slowly, deliberately turned its back to her. In Slavic lore, a home turning its back is the ultimate rejection, a sign of profound unwelcome. Baba Yaga knew she was there and wasn't pleased. Remembering her doll, Vasilisa whispered her fear. The doll murmured back, "Courage, Vasilisa. Turn the hut to face you. It must obey." Summoning every ounce of will, Vasilisa called out, her voice surprisingly steady in the gloom. Little hut, turn your back to the forest, your front to me. As your mother set you, so obey." The hut groaned, a sound like breaking timber, and slowly, reluctantly, rotated on its chicken legs, its door now facing her. It creaked open. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of herbs, damp fur, and wood smoke. Baba Yaga sat hunched on a massive stove, spinning wool. She was bone-thin, impossibly ancient, her long iron-gray hair wild and matted. Her nose hooked sharply, nearly touching her chin. But her eyes, oh, her eyes. They glowed like hot coals in the dimness, seeing everything. Her iron teeth gnashed rhythmically, a terrifying clack, clack, clack that echoed in Vasilisa's bones. Her legs, scrawny as dried sticks. Fee-fi fo-fo-fum, I smell the Russian blood of a human one. Baba Yaga roared, her voice like stones grinding together. Who dares come to Baba Yaga's domain? Speak, girl, before I grind your bones for my bread. Vasilisa curtsied low, her heart hammering against her ribs. Grandmother Yaga, she said, forcing politeness, it is I, Vasilisa. My stepmother sent me to beg fire from you. Our hearth is cold. Baba Yaga's eyes narrowed to burning slits. Humph, sent by a stepmother. I know that trick, girl. Lazy wretches send brave ones to die. Very well, you may have fire if you earn it. Serve me faithfully, complete my tasks, and live. Fail, she grinned, her iron teeth flashing. And you feed my stove. Agreed? Vasilisa, seeing no choice, nodded silently. The tasks began immediately. First, Baba Yaga cackled. Clean my hut, sweep the yard, sort the mildewed corn from the good, wash my linens, cook my supper, and do it all before I return. Lazybones get eaten. With that, she stomped outside, climbed into a giant mortar, grabbed a huge pestle to row with, and whisked a broom to sweep away her tracks. Then, whoosh, she flew into the darkening sky, vanishing like smoke. Vasilisa looked around the filthy hut, the bone-strewn yard, the mountain of moldy grain, the pile of greasy linens. It was impossible. Tears welled, but the doll in her pocket whispered, Feed me, Vasilisa, and sleep. Dawn brings the work done. Vasilisa gave the doll a crumb and a sip of water, lay down, and fell into an exhausted sleep. While she slept, the little doll came alive. Tiny but impossibly strong, it swept and scrubbed the hut until it shone. It cleaned the boneyard spotless. It sorted the corn grain by grain with supernatural speed. It washed, wrung, and hung the linens. It cooked a feast fit for Baba Yaga herself. As dawn's first light touched the skulls on the fence, the doll nestled back into Vasilisa's pocket. Baba Yaga returned with a thud, mortar landing heavily. She sniffed the air, peered with her burning eyes. The hut gleamed. The yard was immaculate. The corn bins were full, sorted perfectly. Clean linens fluttered. A delicious smell came from the stove. Her iron teeth gnashed in surprise. "Remark! Well done this time," suspicion flickered in her eyes. "How did you manage it, girl?" "By the blessing of my mother, grandmother," Vasilisa answered truthfully, though she hid the doll's help. Baba Yaga snorted. "Blessings? We'll see about that. Tomorrow's tasks will be harder." She devoured the supper, bones crunching loudly. "Now, see that heap of poppy seeds mixed with dirt? By morning sort them, every single seed separate. Fail, and your ear supper." She shoved Vasilisa towards the impossible pile and went to sleep. Again, despair threatened Vasilisa. Again, the doll whispered, "Feed me, sleep. Dawn brings the work done." And again, while Vasilisa slept, the tiny doll worked miracles, sorting the minuscule poppy seeds from the black earth with impossible precision. Morning came. Baba Yaga inspected the perfect piles of seeds and gleaming earth. Her gnashing teeth sounded almost disappointed. Blessed indeed." Her eyes narrowed further. "One last test, girl. Tonight, you will sort the white wheat from the black rye in that sack, every grain. Now, serve my supper." As Vasilisa served her, Baba Yaga began to question her fiercely, probing her character. "How do you manage to live with such wicked women? Are you never tempted by evil? Do you never complain?" Vasilisa, remembering her mother's teachings, answered with humility and wisdom. "I bear my lot, grandmother. My mother taught me goodness, and her blessing guides me. Evil thoughts, they blow away like chaff if one doesn't invite them in." Baba Yaga listened, her fiery gaze fixed on the girl. The answers seemed to satisfy the ancient witch in her own strange way. That night, the doll once more performed the impossible task. Baba Yaga returned in the morning, saw the perfectly sorted grains, and let out a long, rattling sigh. She stared hard at Vasilisa. "You have passed my tests, girl. Few do. You have courage, and you have help. I smell the magic of the hearth and home upon you, old magic. Kind magic." She paused, her iron teeth silent for a moment. "Ask your questions, then take your fire and go. 3 questions, no more." Vasilisa, emboldened, asked about the riders she saw, the white horseman, Dawn, the red horseman, Sunset, and finally a black horseman, Midnight, who had thundered past the hut that night. Baba Yaga, surprisingly, answered plainly, revealing they were her servants, controlling day and night. "Enough, your fire." From the fence, she plucked one of the skulls, its eye sockets now blazing with a fierce, unnatural, coal-like fire. She jammed it onto a stick. "Here, take this light back to your stepmother. Now go!" Vasilisa ran, the skull's fiery gaze lighting her path like a terrible torch. She burst into her stepmother's house, holding the burning skull aloft. "Stepmother, I bring the fire you demanded from Baba Yaga." The stepmother and stepsisters looked up and screamed. The skull's fiery gaze fell upon them, and in that instant, seeing their own cruelty and malice reflected and magnified in its hellish light, they began to burn, not physically, but consumed from within by the truth of their wickedness. Before Vasilisa's eyes, they shriveled, turned black as cinders, and vanished into wisps of foul smoke, leaving only ash on the floor. The The skull's fire winked out, crumbling to dust. Vasilisa was free. She buried the skull's dust, honoring even its terrible power. Using the skills learned under Baba Yaga's terrifying roof, and guided always by her mother's doll and blessing, she grew into a renowned weaver. Her cloth was so fine, so magical, it caught the eye of the Tsar himself. He sought her out, was captivated by her beauty and gentle strength, and made her his Tsaritsa. And the little doll? It stayed in her pocket, a warm, silent reminder of a mother's love and the fierce, wild magic that had tested her and found her worthy in the hut that stood on chicken legs.